Good morning. As part of my ministry training with Circle Sanctuary, I've been asked to offer a video of divine love blessing out into the universe through social media. And since I'm not on social media, I've decided to make a YouTube video and share it with my friends. So that is why you're receiving this video. Also, I'm offering you lots of love and blessings. So this is a video not about romantic love. This is about divine love. One of the things that I've been experiencing over the last few weeks, I've been watching the Monks Walk for Peace from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. And through that experience, I have been experiencing a lot of love, peace, joy, compassion, kindness, and I have really been practicing what the monks have been preaching in that I'm starting with my own peace internally and bringing it out into the world. And one of the things I've been experiencing is some resistance. I've been faced with hate and resistance to my offerings of love. And that has made me really look at my own hate and examine what it is that I experience when I experience hate, and how to not allow somebody else's hate affect my peace, love, joy, and happiness, which is difficult. But one of the things I started to realize was that my hate is coming from the love that I have for the person who's showing me their hate. It's coming from hating the fact that they hate. And it's coming from, I love them so much, I hate that they're hating, right? Which led me to thinking about the Kybalion and the law of polarity, and the fact that love and hate are on the same pole. So I want to read a little bit from the Kybalion about the law of polarity. Everything is and isn't at the same time. All truths are but half-truths. Every truth is half false. There are two sides to everything. There is a reverse side to every shield, etc., etc. The Hermetic teachings are to the effect that the difference between things seemingly diametrically opposed to each other is merely a matter of degree. It teaches that the pairs of opposites may be reconciled, and that thesis and antithesis are identical in nature, but different in degree, and that the universal reconciliation of opposites is effected by the recognition of this principle of polarity. Then, passing on to the physical plane, they illustrate the principle by showing that heat and cold are identical in nature, the differences being merely a matter of degrees. The thermometer shows many degrees of temperature, the lowest pole being cold, the highest heat. Between these two poles are many degrees of heat and cold. Call them either, and you are equally correct. The higher of 2 degrees is always warmer, while the lower is always colder. There is no absolute standard. All is a matter of degree. There is no place on the thermometer where heat ceases and cold begins. It is all a matter of higher or lower vibrations. The very terms high and low, which we are compelled to use, are but poles of the same thing. The terms are relative. So with east and west, travel around the world in an eastward direction, and you reach a point which is called west at your starting point, and you return from that westward point. Travel far enough north, and you will find yourself traveling south, or vice versa. And so it is on the mental plane. Love and hate are generally regarded as being things diametrically opposed to each other, entirely different, unreconcilable. But we apply the principle of polarity, we find that there is no such thing as absolute love or absolute hate, as distinguished from each other. The two are merely terms applied to the two poles of the same thing. Beginning at any point of the scale, we find more love or less hate. As we ascend the scale, and more hate or less love as we descend. This being true no matter from what point, high or low, we may start. There are degrees of love and hate, and there is a middle point where like and dislike become so faint that it is difficult to distinguish them between them. So in thinking about that, and thinking about Bad Bunny's message on the screen at the Super Bowl, the only thing more powerful than hate is love, and the Buddhist monks, and the way the Buddhist monks face adversity when they're faced with a challenge or someone who is challenging them. Their message is just to offer them a blessing of love. And thinking about this in terms of polarity, and the idea that when someone is offering you hate and you love them in return, it has no choice but to lessen the degree of hate, which I find very profound. And even if they're still in a place on the lower scale of the polarity in hate, you can still just rise it by 2 degrees, right? By just simply offering some simple words of love. So I can think of nothing more profound than to use the Buddhist monks' offer of, may you be well, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, and may you be free of all suffering. I love you. Have a wonderful day.